Hello guys, I'm back with yet another video. Now this one's on knives and other trinkets. These are bayonets of rifles. I think this one here is a Japanese bayonet, and this one here might be a Russian or German bayonet, I'm not sure. But they're off of rifles. As you can see, that's what clips onto the rifle. Push that button there, and you can, So it's an old one. This one here is old, not so much in good shape. It used to have the, like a metal sheath that went over this. But anyways, you can see that's the sight. That's where the barrel goes, around in that little round hole there. That's where the barrel goes. So, same with this one. This one's a lot longer than the other one. They're not American, but they're pretty old. Yeah, so I'll be back in a jiff with another set of swords for you to watch. Back in a jiff. Nice. Now, these are Mexican bullfighting swords, supposedly. I think. I'm not sure. Each of them have designs on them. They're not very long. I'd say about 1.5 feet long. And this one's a curved blade. Same type of design, as you can see. And, as you can tell, it's small handled. But let me turn this one around. It's the same, says the same thing on the other blade. It says Mexico. I don't understand Spanish, but any of you can translate that, let me know. Here's the other side of this one. This one's in better shape. Mexico. These are pretty cool. So, those are, I think they're bullfighting swords. This thing's got eagle head. So, that's display number 2. I'll be back in a jiff for the other display to show you. Be back in a jiff. Perfect. Now these are medieval weapons. This one here, I'm sure you've seen these from a previous video that I made about ghosts. Well, these were the 2 weapons that fell off my wall in another video. If you haven't seen that one, I urge you to look at that. It's on YouTube. So, this is a double-bladed dagger. It's the real deal. Very dangerous, very sharp, very old. And it's a replica. It's not an original. And this here is a double-bladed battle axe, and this sucker's heavy. Yeah. It's not authentic. It's a replica. It was welded on to a metal rod for a handle. So this sucker, and it is sharp. And it's just another collection of mine that I've had for a long time. I actually chopped a tree down with this once, quite easily. So, be back in a jiff. Aha, beautiful. Now these are nice. These I've had for a while. This here is a Bowie knife. Very elaborate, fancy Bowie knife. Beautiful blade. Sharp as heck. There's the handle. and here's on the other side is the handle. So, the back end of it. This is a very collectible. And this was made by an Indian when I went up to, I think it was Utah or Wyoming or somewhere up there. This is made out of, I think, an elk's horn and a knife, and that's just the price tag. That's an elk horn as well on wood. You know, nice little display there. And if you look closely, you can see where he carved in 2 arrowheads on that elk horn. You see that? Yeah, so it's handmade, very sharp, and quite a nice collection. Well, I'll be back with my next set in a jiff. Okay, here we go. Now these are more newer. Let's start with this one. This one here, I actually found this. This was made in China. But it is a nice little knife. It's about the same size as a Bowie knife. Got a nice handle to it. Pretty sharp too. Razor sharp. Well, not razor sharp, but sharp enough. There's a nice close-up of it. Now this here is the cold steel. Okay. A beautiful knife. You see that little notch there? You would stick that in your pants, and when you pull it out, see, you put that on your pants. When you pull it out, it snaps the blade open. Now, when I first got this thing, tragically, I chipped the blade. Okay, so it was very, very upsetting. It's still a very sharp knife. It's still very dangerous. I mean, this is a very long blade. Okay, it's about the same size as a Bowie knife. But, you know, one of these days I'm going to get this fixed. And believe it or not, how this happened, I was chopping very small branches with this. Very small branches. And somehow it cracked. So it was like a defect. So I was very disappointed in that. But it's still, you know, pretty sharp knife. And beautiful still. So that was a close-up of it. Beautiful knife. Minus the cracked blade. I mean, they say you can chop a 2x4 in half with these. You could chop a rack of ribs with those. You could chop through solid bone with those. But when I come up to a sapling and took 2 whacks at it, it shattered the blade like glass. I mean, that really was disappointing. So, but still, yeah. Anyways, I'll be back with my next set. See you in a jiff. Okay. Now this knife here, it's kind of got a messed up blade a little bit. It's a little dirty. I gotta clean it. Razor sharp. Razor sharp. Don't let it fool you. Very sharp. This is for the airborne. Okay. Airborne. Very nice knife. There's the sheath that it comes with. Got the eagle on it. Real nice blade. This is the buck. It's a buck knife. Alright, and here's a cool thing about this buck knife. This sucker was made in the USA. It's made in the USA. The ones that are made now are made in Japan or China, you know. But it says right there, buck knife. See if I can get it to zoom in here. Focus. Well, buck. But here's the cool thing about this particular buck. If I can only focus. Well, it's made in the USA. Okay. Well, Anyways, it's made in the USA. It was given to me. So, that's pretty cool little setup there. Okay. I'll be back. Nice. Alright. Now these knives, I found this one at a river. I love this knife. It's sharper than hell. This thing is razor sharp. Don't let it fool you. But what I like about this blade is this feature. It just snaps open. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a Crimshaw. So, it's not, you know, it's a good knife. I've had it for a very long time. But I happen to like this blade very much. I mean, look at how it just snaps. Just like that. I've had it for a very long time. That's a good blade. This here is, of course, a 50 caliber BMG. Okay. But it's also a blade. You see, that's pretty cool. You know, nothing fancy. It's just a blade. Very sharp. But this is by far the sharpest out of all the knives I have. This is razor sharp. You could shave with that. Now, you're probably wondering about this guy. Why does it have a key ring at the end of this 50 caliber BMG? Well, unfortunately, I turned it into a bottle opener. You see? I made that myself. You can buy these in stores, but I made this myself. I had a little Dremel, and, you know, I like it. Really comes in handy. So, there's my last but not least set of knives to show you. I got one more thing I'm going to show you. Maybe two more things. I saved the best for last, so I shall return. Okay, now this is a deer antler made out of a candle holder. I just wanted to show you that. I made that. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to show you. Be right back. Bet you don't know what that is. I'm sure some of you might. That there is a very old antique. It is known as a coon trap. I found that in a river here in California, believe it or not. I've had it ever since. I don't know how really old it is, but it still works. It still works. I'm going to show you guys how strong this thing is. Let's see if it breaks something. I already set it. And here's a pencil. Okay. Oof. But look at all that dust. Well, that was weak. But anyways, yeah, it still works. You know, it still works. Let's look at. Take that pencil out of there. Come on. Thank you. Ow. It still works, and yes, it made a little dent in the pencil. Yeah, so that's my old coon trap. This is used to stake it into the ground. You stick a stake in there, and this you plant into the ground so it doesn't, you know, move. But yeah, it's an old, rusty old coon trap. I like it. It's just, you know, it's I don't know what year it is, but it's pretty old. Anyways, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little film of mine, of all my knives and things, and hope to show you some more films later on. Bye-bye for now. Have a nice day. Oh yeah, by the way, please like or dislike, subscribe, sign in, and you'll have the opportunity to see more of my films. Have a good day. See you later for now.